What's up, baby? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I wish I could cue the music for that. Welcome back. Okay, no? Okay. Okay, welcome to another episode of What the Hell Are We Doing? The podcast that discusses love, life's hurdles, and everything in between through incessant babbling. Because y'all know every weekend, not every weekend, but every week I be talking a lot. So thank you guys for tuning in. And today's guest, her name is Chelsea. Welcome.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've never done a podcast with another female, so I'm super excited about it.
Okay. It's a vibe, you know what I'm saying?
It
Something
is a
light.
vibe, some girl talk.
Light,
I like that.
Yeah. You know, we get it in. It's super chill. No pressure. Just be yourself. Breathe. Okay, so how was your day today?
It was good. It's funny. You were talking about just going on and babbling and stuff like that, because that was literally one of my goals this week, is to like be more concise in how I speak and direct. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw that out the window. I'm just gonna. But yeah, day was good. I played bowls at a sound bath for my acupuncturist, so that was fun. Yeah, I worked all day and then came here.
How often do you do the sound bowls?
I usually do an event once a week for that, so it just depends. Like I have different studios I'll do them at. I'll do them with my acupuncturist, or I'll do them and do guided meditations with them as well.
Balance. That's what I thought about. Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get started, I always kind of like do like a little warm up, get you relaxed, loosen up the shoulders, you know what I'm saying?
Love that.
Drink a little bit so you can talk from the heart, you know what I'm talking about? And it's called Buzzed. So the game is, if you've done it, you got to take a sip. And if you haven't, then you don't drink.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do two apiece.
Okay. Just pick one up?
Yep.
Okay.
Or you can shuffle it, do whatever you feel. That was clever.
You want me to read it out loud?
Yeah, you got to read it
Drink
out loud.
if you've ever made a duct tape wallet or a friendship bracelet. I've definitely made a friendship bracelet for sure.
Nah.
You've never made a friendship bracelet?
Nah, we
Really?
did them little folding things. You some little tubes, but we put them on our own keychain.
Oh, yeah. I used to make those ones. Remember the ones where you would like tie them? Like, yeah.
I ain't never do it. I ain't had no friends, y'all. I ain't had no friends. No.
All right. Take a drink if you currently have a condom in your wallet or purse. I don't. Wow, look at
Stay ready. I stay ready for these. I just
Look at you.
I mean, it's a long story. So like, okay, I carry my condoms because I'm allergic to latex.
Magnum Gold?
Oh, okay.
I carry both for the little dudes and the big dudes. So you gotta stay ready. You don't know.
There's an N-word jar.
Yes, I can't say the N-word.
$2 in this jar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have both, whatever you need. But it's because I'm allergic to latex, so I have to carry my own.
I hate the smell of latex so bad. And I just did a baby shower the other day and we had to tie a bunch of balloons. I feel like I smelled it for like 3 days. It's awful. I hate it.
Yeah, nah, I can't. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
even. I gotta stay 50 feet. So, but I like the fact that I carry my own condoms, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, of course, it's always your choice. But sometimes they be like, "Hey, baby, but I could just do it." You're like, okay, well, I know you don't have no kid. But me, I be like, nah. So, okay, anyway, my turn. The last player who took a trip drinks. Where did you go?
The last...
I ain't been nowhere.
Where did I go last? Oh, I went to San Diego for my birthday.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
How was it?
It was fun. It was a vibe, quick little trip just to, celebrate turning 32.
Okay.
32 feels like a really good year for me because 5 is my life path number. 3 plus 2 is 5. It feels good. 32 also just like sounds really sophisticated for some reason. Like, like I'm no longer just barely out of my 20s. I'm like a couple years into my 30s. I know what I'm doing here.
30s is nice.
Yeah.
I don't remember 32.
How old are you?
I ain't finna say that on the thing.
Because I didn't, like, I literally thought you were like 30, 31, 32, 33. Okay, cool.
Anyway.
Cool.
Bleep it out.
Nah, you ain't finna bleep it out. I ain't telling y'all, okay? When they be like, you look 27, 25.
Yeah,
Like,
you look-
thank you.
You do look young.
I just be like, Black, don't cry. Drink if you're double jointed. Please don't show us.
I'm not. I don't even know.
Yeah, no.
What is that? That's
Did you
not.
just-
No, you're just bending your
You just
finger.
bit-
Do that.
What's
Shit,
No.
what the bit?
What?
Yeah, look, my shit go like this though. See?
It literally says don't
it's
show
kinda-
us.
Oh, got you.
Take a drink.
that? Look nasty.
It did look nasty.
Let me
I'm
go
glad
ahead-
they didn't
let's go
have
ahead
to
and
see
get
that.
one more, because I got to change the vibe
Okay,
on that
okay,
one.
hold on.
Oh,
All right.
bendy ass dude.
Drink if you've ever cried after a haircut. Listen, I'm the most dramatic. Shout out to my sister who does my hair. I am the most dramatic. Thank you very much. I'm the most dramatic hair. Like, if anything happens with my hair, like if it's like the wrong color, I'll cry. So I gotta cry. I gotta drink.
I cried because I had to cut my hair, but
I feel
I
like
guess
that
that's
counts.
after,
Yeah,
yeah.
that counts. That counts for sure. When I was in like junior high, I cut my hair to here. That was the only time I ever cut my hair. My stepbrother's like, "It looks ugly," and I was like,
oh damn, boys, man.
Oh.
Everybody reveal the name of your group chat with your friends. Funniest name drinks.
Oh. So we had Bad Bitches No Bozos. I liked that one. That was a good one.
Bad bitches, no bozos. Okay. Mine's is cock no balls.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Henny boys.
Penny boys.
Henny.
Basic.
Oh, Penny boys.
That's
Aw,
It's basic.
you would. I already know who in that chat too. All right. So we're gonna get into the topic today. I know that you're a big advocate on the self-love and healing journey, and just kind of like navigating throughout like the ins and outs of the changes in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so based on that, the question that I have, what I thought was really interesting, because I listen to motivational talks in the morning, and they always say, like, push through the pain, and because on the other side is like joy and happiness. Or there was one that was talking about after, even though I had all these bad things happen to me, I wouldn't change it.
Right.
That I've actually become better because of it
Definitely.
on the other side. And so the question is, what positives, if any, have resulted from the suffering you've experienced in your life?
Gosh. It's crazy because I feel like everything that I am is a lot of it. I don't know. It's hard to say because one, I feel like everything that I am is because of what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the parts of me that have depth and compassion and empathy and understanding and all of the things that I feel are beautiful are because of my pain and the suffering and the things that I've been through. And just even being able to experience loving myself came from not ever loving myself. And so I would have never known, what it was like.
Right.
And so I definitely feel like I agree with that 100%. I feel like I would never change the things that I've been through. I actually talked about this the other day with a friend about how I wouldn't change my parents, because every single thing that has happened to me has made me who I am today, for
Right.
sure.
So you did say that, what was it that you just said in regards to self-love? Like,
Yeah.
you realized that you didn't love yourself. So what happened in your life to make you realize that you weren't loving yourself?
I was choosing other people's needs over my own needs. And I was also putting myself in situations where I wasn't necessarily happy or wasn't necessarily, I was giving my power away. I wasn't feeling the worthiness of who I am because I was just giving that to other people. And I think that really was because I didn't have that love for myself.
So did someone tell you like, hey, you're not loving yourself? Did you come across like a book or a quote or something that was like, maybe I should really dig deeper into this? Because I feel like when you're on the other side and like you've healed and everything, like, oh, I noticed like XYZ. This is why I wasn't loving myself. But I feel like to get to that point of realizing self-love and what you need to do to remedy that, like something in between happened to
Right.
cause you to kind of come to that conclusion.
No, definitely. Like I would say I don't feel like I realized that I didn't love myself until I ended my relationship of 9 years. And when I was without him, I didn't feel like there was anything left. Like I didn't feel a purpose for living. I didn't feel a purpose for life. I knew I've always had super great friends, support system, you know, with like career oriented, good jobs, those types of things. But I felt that just this deep emptiness inside of me, and it took me so long to figure out that, and I felt like he needed to fill that. I could not fill that emptiness myself. I was longing for him to fill it. And I knew that that was unhealthy because and it was kind of always like that in our relationship, which is why I feel like I stayed for so long, is because I really relied on him to fill the parts of myself that I never learned how to fill as a child. And so once I made the decision that this relationship isn't serving me, this isn't good for me, this isn't for my my highest good, I'm going to remove myself from this situation. And the deep rooted like pain and insecurity that I felt that I didn't know how to fill, that's when I realized I didn't love myself. And that I could fill that myself, that it didn't take outside sources to fill that for me, that it was for me to fill it myself. And so I started doing things to fill that, and I started realizing I love myself more than I ever have. And I would never choose another person over myself ever again.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because that's real. That it definitely happens like that. So you said you were in a 9-year relationship. What like caused you? I guess I don't know if that's too personal, but like, why did you guys break up?
Yeah, it's hard to say, because I think at the end of the day, like after spending so much time with someone, I don't necessarily want to, you know, make them look bad, and at the same time, like, I don't know, life is just what it is, right? Like you just do things. But there was definitely like infidelity in the relationship. There were some lies in the relationship. And I think really just like speaking for myself, there were things happening in the relationship that I wasn't okay with, but I didn't do anything about it. I was just like still in it. And I was like, why? Like, this doesn't align with like my goals. This doesn't align with like what I would want myself to like be in or anything like that. So like, why am I still here? And so I started going to therapy, and that just like opened a whole new door for me. I always feel like life is like, and I talked about this the other day, I did a reel, but it really is like life is only what you see. And if you can't see beyond certain things, you have no idea what it's like over there. And so having really solid people or examples in your life that can help you see that like, oh, there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing is so important. So I definitely realized like there was more to life than what I was currently experiencing. I wanted more out of a relationship. And I started going to therapy and working on myself, and I would bring it to him and be like excited. I'd be like, I'm working on myself, and like, this is unhealthy and we should do that. And he just was like, no, like, I'm straight. I'm good. Like, I'm fine. There's just like these things maybe like we can work on, but like I'm good. And I was like, no, I see this whole new like version of myself that I want to be. And the two didn't coexist at the time. They just didn't. I couldn't be who I wanted to be and still be in this relationship because I didn't feel that I was living up to my worth in the relationship.
Right.
And so ultimately, once I started growing, the more it was like we were butting heads and it wasn't working, and I would keep growing. And, you know, and then finally it was just like, it just combusted. And I just like, I decided that I was like, I'm going to leave. I'm just going to get an apartment because we owned a home together. And I was like, I'm just going to get an apartment. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to separate for a while. And I'm really going to just like work on myself and focus on this growth because we clearly can't grow together. And I did that, and that was like the catalyst for what I feel like was one of the most beautiful periods of my life, but one of the most darkest periods of my life, 100%. Which is so crazy because I always feel like life is full of synchronicities, and we're literally like right by the apartment that I lived in when I was going through that. When I moved into that apartment to kind of start working on myself, I went through what I call like the deepest dark night of the soul, and it was during COVID too. Luckily I could work from home, so I was like, you know, isolated, and I could go through it just like you said. I literally went through the motions. I remember I was literally one day I had a meeting and I got off the meeting and I had another one in an hour. And so I just laid on my floor crying for like 45 minutes, called my sister, was like, I can't physically handle this. And she was like, yes, you can. And wiped my tears up, got on the other, and that was like every day. I would just have these breakdowns, but I just was like, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I have to keep going. I have to do this for me. I have to do this for my family. I have to do this for my nieces, my friends, everybody.
Yeah.
I have to go through this pain in order to come out on the other side.
That's good. That's good that I guess you know you also had a reminder of where you've been and where you are now to have seen your old apartment around here.
Yeah.
You know, they say in relationships or just in any relationship, romantic, friendship, or whatever, people can only meet you where they, to their level of self-awareness.
100%.
And so I'm very happy that you've been able to come out on the other side, and because putting in the work is really hard.
It's so difficult.
And it's hard to stay consistent with that because sometimes you're like, oh man, it's just easier just to go backwards. I know that road to go back
but
there.
I did that. Like I did
comfortable.
that. And that's what I realized. Like that was one of the biggest things that I realized is that I was just like living this continuous cycle where I'd be like, no, I don't want to do this. And then I would like try to step away, and then I would be like, oh, I can't, it's too hard. And then I'd go back, and we would just do this cycle over and over and over again. And one day I did like, what is it called? I think it's called EMDR, which is like where, I did EMDR, and I literally saw the cycle, and I was like, fuck, like this is just a cycle. And 2 days later is when we broke up, and I like moved out for good.
Yeah, they say when you sick and tired of being sick and tired, that is
Definitely.
when you will change. And I believe that to be a fact with anything, with any change that you want in life. When you are tired of just like the same cycle, like you said, and it just becomes monotonous. What is it? What do they say insanity is? Doing the same thing and
Over
expecting
and over again, expecting
different
results. Exactly.
So, yeah, shout out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank
of course, y'all already know I am an advocate for therapy. Y'all know I'm always talking about therapy as someone who has gone through therapy as well. So, yeah.
It's life-changing because I just feel like it gives you a different perspective. I didn't, you live, and I say this all the time, like when I was younger and I was in school, and I definitely didn't realize that, like I wasn't planning on going to college. I wasn't planning on doing certain things. And I decided, I'm going to take this step. I'm going to do that. And then once I went to college, I started seeing people live different lives. I would drive up to the avenues, look at houses. I started seeing different. And then I was like, oh, there's different, and I want to be different. And once you can have the vision of it, you can really step into it. But if you don't know there's anything different, it's really easy to just stay in the same shit, and it might not even be good for you.
Yeah, that's so true. Just speaking on that, I wish that we had more avenues in which people can afford therapy. Because I will be
100%.
honest, like therapy is expensive.
Definitely.
And that's not to take away from their profession, because they deserve all the money for how they are able to help people, because they do hear a lot of things. I do wish that it was a way in which it could be cheaper, and that it is talked about in families and household at a younger age.
I 100% agree, because I wasn't able to start going into therapy until I was 29.
And there's people like I know, they don't go to therapy at all. There's people I know who don't necessarily believe in therapy. You also pointed out as far as like seeing other things that are different than how you grew up in your surroundings. And just being able to speak to that. Like, I grew up a certain way and I had a certain surrounding, and if I had not gotten out and I had not placed myself in a different environment completely than anything I've ever imagined, then, you know, you won't grow. Right. You won't see that it's different. But I think also with that, if you see things that are different, you do have to have people around you that promote that.
100%.
Because, you know, you can have people that's just like, man, that's dumb. You
and
know,
it's
that
easy
doesn't
to get
really
pulled back in.
Of course.
And to question yourself. And like,
right.
what am I really, is this pain really worth it? Is this really, you have to be so sure and solid of like your vision and your goal in order to get out of certain things, like generational cycles, trauma, all of those things.
Right. Like, but I believe if that's your path and that was given to you, regardless of how tired you are, you go backwards, the way he worked or whatever higher entity, you know, you would like, whatever name you want to place on him, you know, I feel like it will always push you in the right direction. And or if you try to go backwards, like, okay, well, you're meant for something great. I'm gonna give you a different lesson so you can see.
Yes.
I'm trying to teach you, shawty. Like, just go forward, bro. Like, but I think that's what's so beautiful about life. I think we do take life extremely seriously, and if we could just trust the process.
Yes.
And I'm speaking to myself when I say this, because I don't be trusting the process. I be like, nah, I need to know what's at the finish line. I don't have time to be enjoying this journey. I want to know how far am I from the finish line. But I'm like learning now to just slow down, be present. There is beauty in every lesson. There is something that you can learn every day. And if you just take the time, breathe, slow down, trust the process, like, you're good. You're good.
100%.
So, yeah.
That's why I really like meditation too, is because I feel like you're saying specifically, is you can live a life that's very intuitive and very guided by whatever guidance system you believe in. And you can act very intentionally in your life. And it's even gotten to the point now where I feel like I'm so sensitive to like paying so much attention to my body and like what is calling me and what is moving me, that if I'm not in the right direction, I feel it. Like it's anxiety, like it comes up, I can feel it, and I can finally like attribute it to something, as opposed to just living through life without realizing like, you know, what is it? Because a lot of people are really unhappy, really anxious, really depressed, and they don't even know why. And I feel very grateful that I've been able to get to a point where I can start to pinpoint, okay, I'm starting to feel anxious. What's changed? What am I doing? Is there something that, you know, and come back to that, quiet my mind, come back to that, make those changes and course correct.
Yeah. I do believe when you come to a certain level of self-awareness, especially within oneself, you are able to pinpoint those within yourself a lot more easier. But also what I feel like is so beautiful about self-awareness and the journey of healing is, you know, once you get to a certain point of healing and you're able to control your emotions and become more emotionally intelligent, you can affect those around you.
Definitely.
You know, I feel like, I mean, I personally believe that it, you know, part of our purpose is to give back, is to carry those along the journey only if they want to. You can't force no one, but you can be that guiding light just based on who you are. I talk to a lot of people in which they feel like they have to do something to pull them on the journey, but there's nothing that you necessarily have to do. You just have to be. And if it's meant for that person to get the lesson and get the message, then they will. And if it's not, like, there's no love lost or anything like that. I think when you think of, I would say we, not with you, because it sounds like I'm talking like to you. I'm talking about we. I'm talking about us as a collective, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But like we as a people, when we really embody that, I feel like just things would be a lot easier.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know.
Well, I listen to a lot of YouTube videos when I'm driving to work. I'll just like listen. I'll just put on a video and just let them play out. And I was listening to one that was talking about living very intentionally and intuitively. And it's like, it's not always about like hard work and just like, because if he was talking about if you have a garden, right? And you're like constantly, if you're just out there like constantly working, constantly watering it, like you're going to kill it. You have to like tune into the garden, the energy of the garden. You have to know the needs of the garden, and then you have to act accordingly.
I will say on that, I come from a very, very independent family of women. I describe us as like we're a pack of female lions. That's all we got.
I love
we
that.
We protect one another. We are super strong. And the opposite of that is like you can be hyper independent. But I didn't know what that was. I was like, nah, I don't need no dude. Like I do this on myself. Blah blah blah. And when you just water in the garden, it's like, well, if I wanted to grow, I got to do this. And so I was embodying like this hustle mentality, like. Ain't nobody gonna help you. You want something, you do it yourself. Like, ain't nobody gonna look out for you but you. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah.
Like kind of very aggressive.
Very masculine. Energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't grow up with a lot of men in my family, too. So that was something that we embodied as women. My family, we can be extremely masculine. That's why my man gonna be more masculine than me, and I'm gonna tone down and be like, okay, babe.
That's what I want too.
He gonna be he gonna come in there. I'm just gonna shrink, be like, you hungry? You thirsty? But just speaking on that, I think I've in my personal healing, I'm like, I don't want to hustle no more. My life is supposed to be easy.
Definitely.
But it took me the longest. I didn't understand that. I equated hard work as success.
100%.
And then Londo told me one day. Shout out to Londo. I miss you, man. When you okay. But we had a talk about something, and he said, hard work does not mean that you're succeeding.
Yeah.
Because you can be working hard as hell, but if you're not efficient in your job, you're going to have to go back and do it over.
100%. 100%.
So, he was like, focus on being like effective and efficient and make your plans more simple instead of just always I'm a hard worker. And then that goes into like watching your words. I'm a hard worker. It's like, okay, well, you're a hard worker. Let me give you all this stuff in which you got to work hard for.
Exactly.
And I didn't put those two and two together. Actually, until, what was that, earlier this year, where life was like, I was tired. I was working so many hours. I ain't even gonna get into that. Alonzo no. But anyway, but I kept saying, I'm tired. And I'm thankful, like, the way that it was set up, I had to quit one of my jobs. But now I know, like, there was a lesson in that. I was supposed to quit to teach me how to slow down.
Yes.
You don't have to work hard to get things. And I've been working one job now, and I'm still succeeding. Like, I'm still living comfortably and successfully. And I'm like, dang, all this time, I really thought I had to work 2 jobs.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the time too,
So
it's all about like it's all about the thought process and the thought beliefs, right? So it's like like for me, for example, my dad, when I was growing up, I barely saw him. All he did was work. He had like 2-3 jobs. By the time I was in high school, I had 3 jobs. I was constantly working. I felt like you just have to work really hard, really hard. And after time, I started, like exactly what you're saying, I started realizing you just have to work smarter, not harder. But if you, like, going back to the examples, if you just have examples of like where, there's people saying you got to work really hard, all you're seeing is like people in survival mode. And I was in survival mode.
That survival mode is a bitch.
100%. 100%.
It is nothing to play with.
And I don't even know, because honestly, like,
can you pass me that wine?
Yes,
sorry,
of
y'all.
course.
I'm thirsty. My cup.
But like, I don't even know, because honestly, like, going back to the beginning of what we were talking about, I truly feel like I had to work like really hard to get myself to a position to now I do feel like I do have more ease. And if I wouldn't have worked as hard as I would, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. And so it really like, and it really talks a lot about the contrast of just like sometimes when you know what you don't want, it allows you to see what it is that you do want. So if you are just like hustling and you're doing all this and you're constantly working and all that stuff and you get burnt out and you're tired, you got to start thinking, what are ways that I can start making more money without, draining my energy?
Right. Yeah, I definitely don't knock the lesson of what it is to have worked hard.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that when I get all the good things that's supposed to happen to me, that I can appreciate where I've come from.
Yeah.
But also it allows me to be relatable to people who do work hard. Like I get it. I get the hustle. I get survival mode. Shit, hell, I still kind of go back into survival mode sometimes, more so like emotionally.
Yeah.
But then you can kind of feel it, like you were saying, when you get to a certain level, you're like, oh, wait. I know this feeling. This feeling. And this just trying to figure out a way to combat that. I feel like you said something in regards to like you have to think about what you don't want to know what you do want. On that, and then just in working hard, had I never had the experience of working hard, I would not have known. I don't want to work hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. 100%. Same.
I think it's so beautiful, like the hard lessons. When you in the thick of it, I will say that shit is not beautiful. I be upset. I had some things, especially in this past year. Not this year, but especially last year. Last year whooped my ass. I don't really go into details of everything because, I don't know, I think I'm healed from it. So it's like,
sometimes you don't want to stir it back up. Right.
Because even though those things happen to me, I'm not defined by it.
Right.
And then some other things that has happened to me that it has kind of molded and shaped me into who I am. But then the things that happened to me last year, it doesn't define who I am like at all.
Right.
When I actually say it to people, they be like, oh my God, like, are you okay? Like, oh, and they start freaking out. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't feel it in my body. It holds no weight or anything like that for me. I think there is beauty in pain.
Definitely.
Because I kind of correlate it to working out. You want a bigger butt. You want abs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to get stronger. You got to go through the pain. You be sore as hell. But when you come out, those muscles get stronger every time. And I kind of think about that, too, when it comes to heartbreak.
Definitely.
The heart grows stronger every time. You get hurt, you recognize the hurt. Oh, I know what this is. But I also know what I can do to make myself feel better from it, too, as you go through those lessons.
Definitely.
I think the key is recognizing the lesson.
Because
if you don't recognize the lesson, you'll be right back in it and be like, dang, I'm doing this again,
I just like it's crazy because like when I got out of my relationship, it wasn't like until 6 months later I started dating someone else, and I just went right back into it, literally right back into it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I have grown so much. Like what am I doing? It is so quick to get triggered and pulled back in, but I got myself out of it so much quicker.
It could have been just a test.
So much quicker. Yeah, 100%. So much quicker. And now I don't really date a lot, to be honest with you, because I'm busy and I'm focused. But every once in a while, someone cute will come along, and I'm like, You're
like, hey, boo, what's up?
Hey, what's up? But at the end of the day, it's like if I feel rejected or if I feel hurt or whatever, it takes me 2 days to bounce back. Where when I was younger, that shit would take me like months. But it's like, I feel like the more you go through it and the more you grow, the less other people's actions can hurt you. And the more you know what you want. That's another thing too, is like, let me ask you a question.
Oh, shit. Bitch.
Like, as like a strong, successful, beautiful woman, like who, like, where are they at?
Oh, girl, I don't know.
Because I'm like, the more I grow, the less is out there. And I'm like, wait, I don't know.
I could not tell you. I'm like, they ain't here.
I was hoping, that's why I came. I was hoping you knew.
They ain't here.
All right, well. Cause like, okay, but as a woman who's like super successful, just like has done her work, has done her self-healing, has done all this stuff, it's like, I want a man who meets me there. I'm not gonna teach you. I'm not gonna do that anymore. When I'm 21 years old and we're both like hot messes and we're growing it, because I'll say with that 9-year relationship, oh my, I can't tell you how much we grew. We leveled up so much together. Like if that's twin flame energy, like that was my twin flame. Like I can't tell you, we started from the bottom and made it to the top.
Okay, started to the bottom, now we hear Drake.
Other than you know, like there was a, I don't know, but like it's just as far as like personal development, growth, and then the breakup, both of us too, just like it was a catalyst for so much growth. And it's like once you get to a place where you've grown that much, you're not gonna go back. And the majority of the world, and I'm not like trying to shit on anybody, but the majority of the world hasn't gone through healing processes or looked in the mirror or done those things.
Okay. So you said, I ain't finna teach no man. He need to meet me where I'm at.
I would like that for sure.
All right, here's a challenge. So he's a nice guy, treats you like gold, but he hasn't been exposed to that type of healing or that type of world. But you see, like, he's open and willing. You still gonna be like, nah, shout it, like,
see that, yes,
because
that's happened because, okay, so I really believe in shadow work. I really believe that we have parts of ourselves that we really suppress and we put in our shadow. And to me, I actually met a guy that was super fucking nice, like super nice, super great, had like a lot of things, but I could feel in his energy that there was so much that he was suppressing or hiding from because he hasn't worked through that. I don't want to deal with that. Like, and I don't know, like, it's just, it's hard to explain, but it's just like, because of my, like, how I've chosen, I guess, this path to do this work and to do this healing and to help other people do this work too. If I'm in a relationship with somebody like that, it's going to feel like work. Even if they're the nicest guy ever, if they haven't done this self-work and this healing and shadow work, and I have to help them through that, I'm just going to be feeling like I'm a mom. I'm helping them through it. I'm coaching them. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I do know people like that. I mean, a lot of people are like that, especially because it's like I work so hard on myself. Then I kind of have to like pause who I am for you.
Yeah.
So like I get it.
But I'm okay with that with my friends.
But what if they didn't have the avenues?
That's cool. I'm not going to be the one.
Okay.
It's like I respect. I think this specific person that I'm thinking of is like amazing, but I'm not going to be the one. I want to literally find someone that meets me where I'm at or is done some work. Like he doesn't have to, you know, have like, none of us are ever going to be fully healed.
No.
But is at least like somewhat self-aware of like the same things that I am. And I still want to like grow together because I'm not in the place that I'm going to be in 5 years.
Right.
But we've got to meet in some place where it's kind of close and grow together. That's really what I want from a relationship.
All right, when you say close, like what you mean like close? Because here's another thing. Everyone's healing journey is different.
Yes, definitely.
So explain that. What you mean like they got to be close in like your healing process?
I guess like to me, maybe self-awareness is a really big thing.
Okay.
Like
so from a man's perspective, when you say self-awareness, because you know women, we are nurturers by nature.
Yes.
We are, I feel like, more intuitive and more, that's, I don't want to say our role, but that's just like who we are inherently, if that makes any sense. So from a man, like where do you expect him to be at?
I think honestly, just like somebody who has like literally looked at themselves in the mirror and been like, oh shit, like I may be like this or may be like that. And this like, because a lot of times as humans, we walk around and we just project on people based off of our own trauma, our own experiences, so on and so forth. So at least have done some work in understanding that like I'm projecting, or I may not necessarily be like, just have a level of self-awareness. I can't tell you because like I haven't met him yet.
So so the dude who you talking about, Did he project on you, or was it just like, no, I could feel you need to do shadow work?
I could feel that he needed to do shadow work by some of the things that he would say.
So he didn't fuck up. It was
No.
only in conversations,
I mean,
and
we
you
only
said,
went on like 2 dates.
bro,
I don't even like.
You ain't even give him a chance to mess up, to be like, did you give him feedback and see what he was going to do with the feedback?
No.
Oh, bro.
Okay, so that's actually something that I'm really learning about myself right now in this period of my life, is that this is a big thing that I'm working on right now. And it's funny because I actually did a TikTok the other day. And I was talking about how I was like, when I was younger, I used to be really afraid to express my needs because I didn't want to push people away. And after I did that TikTok, I was like, I'm still kind of like that. Like, I'm still a little bit afraid to express my needs, my wants, my desires to people because I don't want to push them away. And so I deleted the TikTok because I didn't feel like I was like fully being honest. Like, I don't want to portray myself out here as like, oh, now I just always express my needs and wants. Like, no, it's hard for me sometimes to express my needs and my wants because a fear of rejection or a fear of like pushing someone away or so on and so forth.
Fear of abandonment. Like,
but with this guy specifically, it wasn't that I was like, didn't want to push him away or I didn't want to give him feedback. It just, we never got close enough that I felt like I needed to be like, it kind of naturally like died out. I didn't feel like I needed to be like, hey, like I just kind of noticed that I feel like you need to do shadow work. Like, I just feel like that would be unwarranted. Like, he didn't even ask. And, if someone came to me, like I have had guys that I've dated that have like, we've actually had conversations where I've been like, I don't like this, but it's really hard for me to say that. And I think a lot of that stems from being in your life and actually expressing like, hey, I don't like this, and either like people gaslighting you or ignoring you or just like dismissing it. I was with this dude that was like so dismissive. Every time I'd be like, I don't like this. Oh shit,
bitch.
I don't like.
Sorry.
I know.
sorry. That's
I almost broke your wine glass.
I just say that when I get started. Okay, go ahead. My
But
bad.
like that, I was like, hey, I would bring something up, and he would just constantly dismiss it, and I don't like feeling dismissed. So if you're going to dismiss me, then I'm just going to be like, all right, I'm done, So it is hard for me to express what I need because I do feel like I've chosen. It's not even like, it's like I've literally chosen people who have dismissed me because that's an energy, I think, that I was used to from my dad. And so I would get in situations where I would be in relationships with people who were dismissive because my dad was incredibly dismissive, and not intentionally. Like, I have so much compassion because like, it's not like people, I don't really believe that people are just walking around trying to be the way that they are. Like, I truly believe a lot of people want to be very good people. It's just like that they don't necessarily know how, or
he did the best with what
he did the best that he could, and but because of that, I was so drawn to people who were like that. And so, but that's what created these patterns and these cycles where if someone dismissed me, I would like completely back away. And then usually I would end up apologizing too. Like with my long-term relationship, I was constantly apologizing for things that were like not even on me because I just wanted to make things good because I was tired of it like being messy or like just like us having weird energy. Yeah,
it's easy to shrink yourself to make somebody else feel better.
100%.
Especially like being in an intimate relationship. So
but I'm still learning how not to. Like, I feel like I have really big energy. I feel like I definitely feel like I'm expressive. I'm got big energy, and if somebody steps up and tests it, sometimes I will back down a little bit and be like, ooh, I don't know, I'm not so sure about myself. I'm not so sure about what I said. Maybe that was uncalled for. I questioned myself a lot, and that's really something I'm working through now. Is like, I do feel like I'm very intuitive, very guided, very connected. And so, not questioning myself and being okay with, what, this is exactly how I feel. I'm going to stand in my power. And if people don't like it and they leave, that's cool. Yeah. And I can do it with some people, and other people, it's not as easy.
Yeah. Just becoming unapologetic.
Unapologetic. Right?
That
unapologetic?
Word.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I could not get that out. Oh Lord. No, but that makes sense, and I feel like we do get that. We get people in our lives to test us and to help us grow and stuff like that. So that makes sense. The good thing is, like you said, what it is.
Definitely.
And so I feel like it's a lot easier when you know what what the root of it is, because then you can work on healing it and you can see the triggers when it comes up.
100%.
So
100%.
yeah. That's what's up. I'm like, I'm gonna drink today.
Cheers to that.
Oh. My lush ass. I'm like, I'm finna just drink it all, shit, bitch. I'm thirsty as hell.
This is fun.
I know we've just been talking and in between it, like I crack a lot of jokes. I that's just who I
love
am.
it. Okay, that's another thing too, is like I realized that I am the most playful motherfucker. Like I love to like play, especially in relationships. Like I want to like fight and play. Like I'm a Leo, right? And I'm like, I am such a lion. Like I want to like play, I want to wrestle, I want to talk shit, I want to like, I just want to like, I want to play so much. And I feel like some guys are thrown off by that because they're like, why are you like, but I just get so excited. I'm like, I want to play, I want to have fun, I want to laugh. Like I need a guy who can just like make me laugh all the time, you know, because I love that shit. I love,
I'm looking for my best friend in the middle.
Right.
So, but he out there, you know what I'm saying? I already know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm so okay with that.
Why do you think that? Like, why do you say that?
What, I think I'm not everybody's cup of tea?
Yeah. Like, I'm just curious. Like,
I would just say just based on the state of Utah, honestly. Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Well,
but I also take that in pride. Like it's like top shelf. Like shit, if you can afford it, you get it. If you can't, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. One of my like super good guy friends, like super good guy friends, he like made the most fucking valid point to me, and he was like, it's hard to date in Utah or to go out in Utah over 30 because everyone who's over 30 is married. So there's all these like, do you notice like, do like 20?
I don't go out no more, but I will say, cause I didn't grow up here.
Yeah.
So here, when you go out, they only cater to 21
That's what
to
I'm saying.
24, 25.
I can't tell
But
you.
everywhere else, when they got clubs, you come in grown and sexy.
Exactly.
We got 25 and up night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't come in with no busted sneakers, some holy ass jeans. And so they cater to like a wider audience. And so, but I know that for myself. So when I catch myself getting in that comparison, like, oh, it's because I'm older. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm not old.
No.
Like, but you know, like being here and you see just one demographic and one thing that they cater to is, it can be easy to be like, well, how am I find it and when I'm gonna find it, you know, because
especially when
of
like
how it is here.
20, 22, 23, 24-year-olds are like coming at me and I'm like, no, we are so like,
Oh, you ain't gonna knock down the 22?
No. No. And there's nothing against it.
Why?
But
You don't want to have like a good time one night, good time, fill you up?
I don't know why. Okay, like real talk, I've only had a one night stand one time. Like, I don't know why. Like, I'm super resistant to, like, people's energy.
Yeah.
I'm super resistant to people's energy. So, like, no, I don't even want to have fun with you. Like, I don't
Okay,
want
what
to.
if a couple dates
like,
and then...
No, I don't want to because it feels like a waste of time. I feel like I'm busy. I feel like I'm focused. And if I go on a couple dates just to do it, like, just to have fun, like, you've got to be... Okay, if you're under 25 and you want to holla, you got to be... Like, you got to come up with the funnest idea I've ever heard in my life. The funnest. This one kid, he had to be really young, messaged me and was like, and I told him he was too young. And he's like, well, let me take you on one day. I said, what do you have in mind? Well, what do you like to do? Done. No, I'm not doing it. Period. I'm not going to do it.
But he's trying to figure out what you like to do
No.
so he can plan a date?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But
No, I get that, though. I get it.
with that being said, though, like, luckily I have traveled a lot. I do travel a lot. I probably leave at least once a month. And so I do see the outside world, like outside of Utah. And I've traveled since I was a kid. I did grow up here, but I've always been really aware of the outside of Utah bubble. But it definitely, sometimes being here, it's like when you're one of 30-year-olds and, you know, it's like,
Yeah, shit hit different.
definitely.
That's why at first I used to be real mad about it or sad about it, and but now I just.
So I want to take it back to like what I said about the like telling a guy what you want. Okay, I'm curious about your opinion.
So tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I saw this girl.
I tell you.
I saw this girl on
what you mean?
TikTok.
Okay, what you mean?
Okay, so I'll tell you.
ahead.
I saw this girl on TikTok, and she was like really adamant. She was like, never tell a man what you want because
he'll mirror it.
He'll just give you what you want, but it's not like real and authentic, and it won't last. So
that's real, because you're on a date. So what you like a man? I like a man who do this. I like a man who do this.
And
he be like, I'm trying to get in them draws, so I'm finna do all this. So I feel like, but it's a way to the game, though. You don't do that. It's a way about it. You
can't give it.
You
but
can't,
okay,
you
let me
can't
ask you a
tell
question
him
then.
like that, like,
but what if you've already gone there? You've already been there. You're dating. He's already.
What
like,
you mean by going there, been there? We had sex?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm like, girl, we had.
I'm like, he already got in them draws.
Okay,
yeah. He already
so
got
we
in them
had
draws,
sex.
and he's like,
did I like it?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's like, tell me how to, like, tell me what you want and how to be. I definitely feel like there's a balance to it. Like, I definitely feel like you have to allow people to, like, get to know you so that they can, but I definitely feel like to a certain point, you just have to be yourself. And if you vibe, you vibe. And if you don't, you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I dated somebody, that was last year. We was complete opposites. I don't even know. At first I was like, why am I going out with this dude? But I was like, he nice. You ain't been out on dates in a minute, girl. Go ahead and get treated and have a good ass time. Because I deserve that.
Yes, you do. You do.
Shit.
Definitely.
So we went out for a couple of dates, but then we ended up starting dating because he was a true gentleman. And he did this thing that I loved. He always be like, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah.
To certain people, I don't take no shit. I'd be like, I don't like that. And he was like, yes, ma'am. And he lock it up. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So for me, because I just feel like, all right, so I view it like this. If you don't tell a man what you want and what you need, then he not going to give it to you. Not on the first date. This is like if you're dating.
Right.
Because it's just like sex. People be faking and stuff. I do not believe and I do not condone in women faking it. Stop that shit.
I like how you looked at the camera. Stop that shit.
Stop.
Yeah, because honestly,
all they're going to do is give you the same shit. And then you're like, oh my God. Like he feel like he really doing it.
And it doesn't help him. It doesn't help him grow. It doesn't help him grow.
Like, no.
You know when you being that thing.
Wow, she could be faking it. I mean, there's certain ways, okay. But that's if you really finessing with it. That's if you know.
Okay. So another topic about
you really know.
When them quick twitch, you can't fake them quick twitch.
No, you
the
can't.
quick
You
twitch.
You can't. No, you can't.
Okay, but like there's nothing worse than like transactional sex.
What's
like,
transactional
just
sex?
like, okay. Yeah, let's get into it. I
Okay.
feel like that's happened before where like you meet a guy and it's like, oh, he's like got some like romance and some like, you know, like pizzazz and like it's good. And
got
then
the
it's
swag.
like,
Okay,
yeah,
you got
like
this
it's
swag.
like you like after the first time you're like, damn. And then it's like after you do it a few more times, it's just like done. Like transactional. Like I fucking just bought a purse and I just paid with my credit card.
When you mean like every time we go out on a date, like
No, I'm talking about sex. No, I'm talking about the sex just being. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Literally, the act of sex feels very transactional.
Okay.
You never experienced it?
Nah,
damn.
Like what you
say
yeah.
somebody calls and it's like, oh, how was your day? How was your week? But you know it's just for sex.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
yeah.
about the actual act of sex. Like at first, it starts out where he's
You
like,
might have to describe this. What he's about, like,
Damn, you guys, this is
oh no, we raw. We are vulnerable raw.
All right.
Welcome to What the Hell Are We Doing? Because we talk about all that shit.
I'm talking about like the first time it's like passionate, and like the second time is like passionate, and then it just is like bum done. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then you gotta tell them that ain't what you want.
Right.
I feel like you're becoming really mechanical with your shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
Nah, you
mechanical.
put it
It's
here,
gotta
right
be
here,
like,
you
yeah.
want the organic, the like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just gotta let them know. But like, I feel like, or like try something a little, you know, a little dab, put a little sprinkle, see how he responds.
Right.
Talk to him, doing like, let him know, talk, tell him what you like when he in the moment. You know, they directional. Definitely. You tell him when they do it, you doing a good job here. He be like, right here, oh, you know, and then he, like. He be like, I'm gonna keep on.
That's real though. That is very real.
like I just feel like cause I have like my female friends, especially back home, they
Said woof.
they be, I be going to them like, bitch, I'm finna do something, and they be like, hey, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But like, I ain't saying nothing, but I said a lot.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, you
yeah.
So yeah, I feel like if it becomes transactional, there is a way to correct it.
Do you feel like transactional energy is like a very masculine energy?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of because dudes beat off.
Right.
They say, I do the same thing. I got my lotion, I got my this and this, and I do the same wacky jerk, and they do what it do.
Right.
And they are satisfied.
Because for me,
and
like,
they'll bring that same energy into the bedroom, not
100%.
knowing that, hey, this doesn't work for me. Yeah.
I definitely feel like I've been kind of thinking about like this whole masculine feminine thing a lot lately. And for me, a lot of it is like, I definitely want a dude who's super masculine, because I feel like in my life, I have to be masculine a lot. Like, I work for a tech company. I'm like one of the only women. Yeah, here we go. I'm like one of the only women. Yeah, shout out to women in tech. Actually, one of my coworkers was like, women in tech need to have a voice. But, you know, and like, I just feel like, for me, I have to, I'll go back and forth between my masculine and feminine energy, but like, I'm a planner, I'm my stability, I'm my like safety, I'm all those things. I want a man who can come in and do that so I can focus on all this other stuff that I want to focus on, but I'm going to give you so much in return. I'm going to create a safe space for you too, to be expressive and to be able to be in your feminine energy. Like, and so I don't know, I kind of am like, curious what that looks like. I think that's kind of where I'm like, do I want a man who's just like extremely in his masculine, even if it is like a safe masculine, or do I want someone who can kind of ebb and flow between his masculine and feminine? But when I'm super in my masculine, I feel like I attract feminine energy dudes, and I can't 100%. Do that. I cannot. I can't. 100%. I don't want to be the man in the relationship.
Yeah. I'm like, nope. I said I was gonna stop doing that. No, I 100% agree with that. I feel like, because I operate in my masculine too.
Yeah.
But I do have to become aware, like, especially around a guy like I like, to drop into feminine.
Yes.
And that it's okay to drop into feminine. And just to know the time and place in which I need to be masculine, which I need to be feminine. But I feel like if a man is masculine, like you'll automatically drop.
Oh, I do. I automatically
it is like
do.
Clockwork.
It doesn't even. I can't even try to be masculine if I'm around a masculine dude. I literally drop into my feminine. But what I'm also trying to get comfortable too is like sometimes if I drop so deep in my feminine, I don't feel in my power. And
but there's so much power in femininity.
I know.
I can't get that femininity.
Definitely.
There's so much power in femininity.
If I do it on my will, but if I'm around a super strong masculine and how it automatically drops, it makes me feel uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't know.
It's just because like I feel like, excuse me, like getting comfortable in being feminine. Yeah. I'm not comfortable in being feminine.
Right.
So when I get there, I'll be like, oh shit.
Then maybe that's kind of what it is.
Like, lock up and I got like, this is not who I am.
Yeah.
But like now I'm trying to tell myself like it's okay. Like you're still safe even if you're in your femininity. I cannot get that word out. But in that, and then when I'm learning like when I get comfortable, because I was around a very masculine man not too long ago, but I've been practicing.
Okay.
And then I called my girls back home and we went through the whole thing. She said, so what you gonna do when he, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. You're like, why am I here right now? And so he be hearing it all. So, but then when I got around, and then I felt powerful.
Yeah.
And then when I was in it, and I was like, nah, but you still that bitch. Like
I think it takes a really secure and like a healthy masculine for me to feel that like
no, you can't put that on that man.
Okay, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. I preach that. You gotta like do that internally. You're right. Yeah.
Cool. So when you in it though, like they melt. Yeah. Because that is who they are inherently, and that is what they're attracted to. So it just automatically like balances out.
Definitely.
and then you just be like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
You be like, this your couch, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get super comfortable there. And then in that, then I feel like, especially those that work on themselves and like know how to communicate, you can kind of maneuver in a way to get the things that you need and want from him.
Definitely.
In that feminine power.
100%. I love that.
Okay. Cause we run shit.
We
Who
do.
run the world?
Girls, definitely.
Hey.
Yeah.
And so yeah, in my singledom, me being single, I feel like it's been 84 years. It's been so long, but in there I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and do the work because when he come along, I gotta be ready.
Right. Always.
I do know like the biggest things for me is, like you said, like allowing him just to be a man. I'm so used to doing everything by myself.
Definitely.
Let me do it. I'm like, no, I got it.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like I definitely
But then it's
need.
just like, go sit down.
When I do like my sound baths and my meditation, I am literally channeling feminine energy. Like I am so in my feminine power. It is beautiful. It is strong. It is wonderful. Being in that feminine power and being comfortable being in that around a masculine is definitely something I need to work on. 100%. 100%.
But they say like ways to just like tap into your feminine energy is like dancing around the house, putting on something sexy.
Oh, I'll do that for myself
like,
all day. Yeah.
Being in the mirror and looking at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And being like, you know, just all those kind of things. Like,
Definitely.
you gotta know what it look like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't comfortable, then
no, definitely.
I
feel like I be like sometimes I'll look myself and be like, you're the fucking baddest bitch ever. Like,
because dudes are not gonna see it.
Yeah.
Dudes are not gonna see our imperfections. They only see it when we point it out.
Exactly.
But you come in that thing like, hey.
I feel like confidence, I don't care what you look like. If you can like be confident, it doesn't even matter. But if you're worried like, oh my God, cellulite, I gotta stretch my I don't want you to see. Like dudes can feel that. Like you just gotta own that shit, period.
But that's also in being in your feminine energy.
Okay, then maybe I can a little bit.
You just like dropping it and be like, it's. I think the biggest thing do you want some more?
Sure, why not?
I think the biggest thing for women who operate in their masculine a lot is to say, I'm safe here.
Yeah.
I feel safer
but what if
being in my masculine than I do my feminine. But when I drop in it, I'm in the mirror and I'm looking at myself. So I see, I'm talking, I'm safe here. I'm safe in my femininity. Like it feels good here. Like everything is like, and you just, then you're pouring into it and then you kind of start feeling more comfortable with it.
Definitely.
So then by the time the opportunity comes, it's like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
It's just putting that practice in.
Thank you. Cheers.
Like stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Right.
Yeah. I think like that's the biggest thing. It's just feeling that safety. That safety shit is
so important.
real. But then I feel like if we talk about self-awareness and growing and the healing and the journey, but in that is safety, and the only
100%.
person that can provide safety is yourself.
100%. But that's where I feel like that's what I'm trying to say though, is that I feel like I've found so much safety within myself, and maybe it's that hyper independence.
But that's the trauma response. Did you know hyper independence?
Yes, 100%. But that's what I'm saying, is that I've found that safety within myself, but it's hard for me to allow myself to find that safety within somebody else. To find my own safety that I've already found within somebody else. I don't know.
But why do you have to find it in somebody else?
No. I'm saying find it within myself around somebody else. Yes. Yeah.
Because it's just kind of like, but see, that's another thing when they talk about like relationships and being single. Like, there's so much safety in being by yourself. Like, you don't have to worry about anybody else or anything like that. But where's the fun in that?
Right.
Where's the chance to experience the love and the happiness and the joy and the exchange of energies and to really enjoy someone?
Yeah.
And all the beauty that comes in with sharing like your light with someone else.
Definitely.
I've had to like change my mindset in thinking like that. so I can be more present if I'm with someone else, and being like, nah, I'm the shit. They deserve this shit too.
Definitely.
Like, I've been practicing. Let me go ahead and shine my light to the world and show them, like, hey. And they be like, dang, this is nice. Like, I feel like being a beautiful person, you're supposed to be shared. Not shared.
No, I get it.
You know
well, you
mean?
want to shine that light so that others can feel inspired to shine that light within themselves. Mm-hmm. So you are an inspiration. You are a beacon. You are a beacon of hope. Yep. So you continue to live your life in a way that people are inspired by you and they do the same. 100%.
And so the biggest thing I tell myself is, whatever happens to me, I'm going to be okay.
100%.
And
always.
with that, and walking into whatever relationship or interaction that you get in contact with, when I have that mindset, then I'm able to just be myself.
Right. And that is safety. Yeah. That is safety, knowing that no matter what, you're going to be good. Mm-hmm. Always.
So then I get to be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Because it's my choice. It's like, I want to show you what love feel like. If I say I am love and I am happiness and I am light, then I want to show you what that feels like.
Right.
And that's a part of somebody being inspired. You know what I mean? All those like things. And so those are things like I tell myself, so I can be more present and being like, okay, don't go small, just be yourself. Whoever fuck with you gonna stay. And if they don't, they gonna leave.
Definitely.
And you'll still be fine because you got your pretty little palace that you built for yourself.
Exactly. And if they leave, like, I really have started to learn that, like, if people do leave, it is a blessing. Like, it truly is a blessing. It is okay. Like, you don't have to cling. You don't have to hold on to anything. If people want to be in your life, the people who do, cool. Like, over the past year, I feel like so many people have come and gone out of my life, and I don't know if it's because of growth or whatever it is, but I'm just flowing, I'm just going, and it's okay. And I'm not clinging on to people, I'm not clinging on to things, I'm not clinging on to friends, and I'm just allowing myself to be where I am, to go through what I'm going through. And then the people who want to be there, they'll be there, and I'll reciprocate that energy. And the people who don't, cool.
Yep. And the spaces will always get filled.
They always will. And that's the thing. I feel like we, as humans, like, it's so easy to cling on to something because you just know that. And but if you allow it to go, so much more beauty could come in
the moment. Because I've experienced this too.
Yeah.
It's like the devil, you know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's very easy to stay comfortable because it's like, well,
this is all you know. Well, I had it broken down to me like this. It was like, all you have is you currently right now, you're sitting on a house that fell down. Okay. This is like when I went through my breakup. You're sitting in the rubbish of a relationship that collapsed. You were on a faulty foundation. It collapsed. Right now, you can't see anything ahead of you because you don't know what it looks like.
Right.
All you can see is the life that you had built on this faulty foundation, and you're sitting in the rubbish of that faulty foundation. So it's going to be really easy for you to want to go back because that is more clear and you have more reassurance in what life looks like than you do in the unknown. But like with tarot, I don't know if you know tarot, but like there's a card called the Fool card, and it's literally like setting out with literally your eyes closed and just following your intuition and just going. You can't turn back just because it looks better than what you don't know, because what you don't know could be so much more beautiful than what it was.
I think it's so crazy that us as humans, like, we really do fear the unknown.
100%, because
like,
it's
when
scary.
The unknown has so many different avenues.
You could literally get $1 million
like,
in the unknown.
But you're like, no, but the known.
But the known though, I had $100,000.
But the unknown,
yeah.
It's crazy how I don't know if we're programmed that way or through life experiences that we end up being programmed that way. But I think.
Well, I think it's like there's a lot of people who are afraid of the dark. You know what I mean?
Shit, I don't like the dark.
Well, you gotta. That's the unknown.
No, but I used to see some shit in the dark. That's why I don't like the dark. I used to see a lot of shit. I like a little bit of light. I don't like complete darkness.
For sure, definitely. But I don't know. Sometimes you gotta just venture into the unknown, venture into the darkness to see what's on the other side.
I mean, in other ways I'm in the dark, but literal dark, I be like, nah.
I can only sleep in the dark. If there's like one little ounce of light, I'm like, I can't sleep.
So you be having sex in the dark?
No, I like the lights on.
Oh.
I'll do both, but I definitely want like some light. Maybe not like lights all the way on, but like some light.
Like give me all the lights. I want to
see it. Like that
let me
is
see it,
yeah.
Let me see it. Bend over. Let me see
Definitely. Definitely. Don't do that.
No, it's allergies.
Will we? Cat.
Huh?
The cat.
Yeah. Do you have a cat? Mm-hmm. Me too. I literally posted on my Instagram today. I was like, it is so okay. First of all, cats are so self-sustainable, and like,
earlier.
but like, it's so weird that you could just love something so much that like just literally just like randomly lives. Like, if they're so random, pets are so random. They're so random.
I mean,
I don't know. I was thinking about that today. I literally was thinking like pets are super random. They just like live in your house. You don't. I talk to my cat. She doesn't talk back.
You say what?
Rent free.
Yeah.
My cat's super self-sustainable. I'm like, you're just a living creature in my house that like shows me affection and is like sleeps in my feet.
Purpose.
Oh, she absolutely serves her. I feel like she's like a little soulmate. It's weird. I just think it's so weird that I could love something so much that like I don't have verbal communication with. Maybe that's what it is. Like I literally love her so. I had a dream the other day that I had to move. And I always think dreams, like, you know, attribute to different things, but that I had to move, and for some reason, she couldn't come with me, and I was just, like, devastated.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, it's just interesting that you could love something so much that you don't have, like, a verbal communication with.
That's true. Shout out to pets.
Shout out to pets, for sure.
We love y'all. Where we at on time?
Hour 11.
That always happens.
I've been going.
Yeah,
it's always 11:11. Hey!
Angel numbers.
All right, well, we have been chopping it up, but I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Me too.
So thank you for coming on. Welcome back every time. Anytime. Just let me know.
This is fun.
Again, thank y'all for listening, for tuning in. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And as always, I will see you next time on What the Hell Are We Doing? Peace.